Looking forward to this. I'm getting emotional. We created this gnocchito with potato and flour and made it with the creamy lemon tempura sauce. Absolutely divine. Just like you! Ingredients. Hello and welcome to a new gorgeous episode on the Pasta Queen channel. Today, you're going to see the entire evolution of how to make a potato gnocco from scratch. But this is not just any other gnocco. This is the most trendy. Everybody's talking about this gnocco. It is a tiny round, thumbnail size gnocco that is mixed with the most luscious cream. You've been seeing it go everywhere. All the top restaurants in Italy are doing it. All the top pasta factories are selling it. So in this video, I show you how to make a proper authentic Italian gnocco from scratch. This is the potato one, non-chewy, and why. I'm gonna show you why. All the tricks to not have a rubbery chewy gnocco. And then we're going to go over a 5-minute, yes, I'm going to show you a sauce that comes out as if you've been consulted by French connoisseur Michelin star chefs, but no, it takes 5 minutes to make, and it is with lemon cream and parmigiano. So stay tuned. This episode is going to be the kickoff of summer, and it's going to be just gorgeous. It all starts with flour. You can use two types. Usually I would use the double O flour. This is my favorite double O flour for the moment. It's an organic double O flour from Molino Grassi. I get it on Amazon, as well as this one. This is the semolina flour, very finely ground from Polselli, okay? Today I'm feeling inventive. Usually I would make my gnocchi with double O flour, but I want to make it with the extra fine semolina flour from Polselli. Potatoes, and we're having the russet potatoes. The secret to making the best soft, pillowy gnocco, no matter what size you want the gnocco to be, it is all about the potato. Potato must be dry, even older potatoes. Potatoes that have been waiting in a basket in your kitchen for even a couple of months are even better. Why? Because they're low in water content. Russet potato species specifically have a lot lower water than the, say, Yukon gold potato. So, what is a russet potato? And if you don't know this specific potato, it's not available in your own country, ask for your farmer's market, your grocery store, wherever you get your produce, for a potato that's dry, that does not contain a lot of water. Whatever species that is, get that one. And if you get it to lay around for a few weeks, even better. You boil them until you can poke through while they're still boiling in the water all the way through. You know they're done, fully cooked through and through. Then you put the russet dry potato, pat it dry once you take it out, and you put it through a potato ricer. You get the most non-watery potato content. I'm sure you're asking, why is the dryness of the potato relevant? It is. Because the drier the potato, the less flour you need to mix into the potato to make it the perfect consistency of gnocchi dough. Now, if your potatoes was to be very watery, you'd need a lot of flour to counterbalance the amount of water. In this case, your gnocchi are gonna be mostly made out of the potato, and that makes the entire dumpling deliciously soft and pillowy. And this is really the secret of the grandmothers and the nonnas from Italy. They use the best type of potato for the gnocchi, and they're usually, if you go to my home and my nonnas, they have potatoes lying there for months. We cultivate, we're potato fields. If you watch my Amazon show, you know we went to my family's farm and I was digging for potatoes with my dad. So we have been potato growers for hundreds of years, and so there's always a ton of potatoes. So my grandparents and great-grandparents loved the gnocchi, and my nonna used to freeze them already. When I was a kid, there was always a ginormous freezer freezer, and she would freeze the gnocchi as well. If you want to know how to freeze gnocchi, stay tuned because I'm going to tell you exactly once we get there. Break an egg and now you mix, okay? So the mixture for the potato gnocchi is very interesting. The consistency and the stickiness needs to be specific, okay? And I'm gonna show you exactly what that means. You do not need to knead this for a long time. Once you move to your surface with the dough, you wanna have extra fine semolina flour to make sure that you can finalize your process here. You do not need to knead this dough ball for more than a few minutes. This is such an easy way of making gnocchi. You know, I've been asked so many times, and I want to really explain this to you because it's very, very key. Most of the people that ask me about gnocchi have this fixed concept about the fact of making fresh pasta and having it to be such a difficult time and a long process. Difficult, it's not. Fine, I've done it for a bunch of years, okay? So that helps. But you gotta start today because you also wanna be doing it and arriving to a point where you've been doing it for a bunch of years. Why? Because everybody loves fresh pasta. It's such a wholesome creation that brings families together, friends together, create memories, you know, of, I don't know, savoring the best, most incredible foods. So why not be able to be skilled in such an easy art, which is the art of making gorgeous pasta, but not only the pasta shapes, pasta sauces to go with it. I mean, it's very magical. First thing first, we slice little pieces from the dough and we create ropes, okay? Now we're gonna go half an inch wide, well, half an inch diameter ropes. This is an inch and this is half an inch. What we're gonna do is cut them and roll them off the surface. You could have a gnocchi making party and make so many and freeze them. And now it comes the secret to freezing them. In freezing gnocchi, you want to freeze them on a tray first. Why? You do not want to like bunch them up and freeze them. They're gonna get all mushed up. They're still fresh. They don't have a strong shape, okay? So if they are on top of another, they might get sticky, they might get warpy. First, you want to freeze them into position. You're gonna freeze them round in the shape they are singularly. And then after 3 or 4 hours, you take them out of the freezer and you can put them all together in a container, in a bag, because they will stay their size. They will stay their own shape. In making fresh gnocchi, one thing I wanna recommend is to scrub your hands every once in a while, just in case you've been touching, you know, the moisture and you still have some residue. You do not want to then, you know, give those little bits of dry dough, dry flour, into your actually tiny little gnocchi. I want to take this moment, since the pasta water is boiling, to really talk about the right sauce that you want for this type of little mini gnocco. Random fun fact: did you know that in Roman dialect, gnocco means someone extremely good looking? Some could say hot. He is a gnocco. Next time you're in Rome and you feel like wanna be funny and you don't know what to say to someone who's extremely handsome, you could call him a gnocco. Today I wanna talk about this sauce that we've created, that it's also been blessed by the name of the lemon temptress. This is now available nationwide, online and in stores at Walmart. Now, when Walmart came to me and asked me to create a line of premium sauces, we had a choice. How do we make the most incredible, gorgeous 5 different flavors that would represent my cooking, available to a national audience anywhere? So you don't need to go to a restaurant. Although I was cooking in New York last month, if you don't happen to be a New Yorker, it doesn't matter because you can taste my sauce. Now, what have we done here? This is Italian ingredients. So when Walmart came to me and told me, we want to do a line of premium clean label sauces, I said, we need to actually source the ingredients from Italy. So of course we had to find the best partner in the food manufacturing scene that would be willing to compromise a little bit. So we struck a deal. And because I had the upper end of the deal, since Walmart came to me to begin, I was able to set in stone in a contract the fact that the ingredients will be sourced only from Italy. It's a clean label, no artificial colors, flavorings, no sugar added, no artificial preservatives. This is the jarred version of what I'm showing you today. The creamy lemon temptre sauce. It is the top seller in the United States before my marinara. So we have 5 sauces just before we get into the sauce because the pasta water is still boiling. We have the lemon tempters, the marinara, a spicy vodka sauce. This is gorgeous. It's tomato heavy. When I created it, I wanted it a little bit more cream heavy, but we settled on this because we felt that it's more something that everybody loves. We have the arrabbiata, which is a spicy tomato sauce. It is similar to the marinara, but it has a little touch of parsley. So it's got a little bit of a different finish. The tomatoes are gorgeous from Italy, and it is a tiny bit spicy. I didn't want to do too spicy because I want kids to be able to have it. And then we have the 4 cheese. Now this is a potent little sauce. It is probably the most misunderstood sauce that I've created out of the 5 because it's got gorgonzola, fontina, gruyere, parmigiano, heavy cream. It's got nutmeg ground in it. It's a very acquired taste. I have put it on meats, on pizza, on pasta. I personally love it, but you only need a little bit because a little bit goes a long way, okay? So use your pasta water, mix it in, use a little sauce to begin with, dilute with pasta water, and add as needed. And now, all the way from just here, we are recreating the lady of the house, the lady that started it all, the champion ambassador of this month at the Pasta Queen is her, the lemon temptress. To lower the temperature, put a drizzle of extra virgin. The zest of 1 large lemon or 2 small ones. The secret is to not make this sauce bitter. Do not zest the pith. And now the juice of a whole lemon. Freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano. Once the water boils, salt it. Gnocchetti go in. One could say, let's put some green on it, like some, I don't know, basil, parsley, sage. No. This is the crowning of the summer months. The lemon temptress gnocchetto. And it needs to be lemon through and through, all the way. Lemon to the max. Just gorgissimo. Nonna would be proud. And with this recipe, we come to the close of this week's appointment, this date that we had with one another. Just in case you didn't know, we cooked together, we savored the food together, and if you really want to repair a deal gone wrong, a relationship gone bad, a sour friendship, this recipe, it's the key. to your happiness. Happy start of summer to you all with my lemon temptress gnocchetti recipe.